We paid $149 for these. Maggie, you're fair in the road here. That way, if this one gets away from you, which does happen, she's done and drenched and you don't have to worry about trying to catch her out there. Honey, that's enough. Go on, go back. Especially lambs, it's pretty important to show them the water when you put them into a new paddock. Main reason this year is just because we didn't get any summer crop in. Go back. Good morning everyone, what's going on today? So, something a bit exciting today. Well, if you're a sheep farmer. So yesterday there was a first cross ewe sale in Yass. So I headed over there yesterday afternoon and picked up 110 first cross ewes. So these are only lambs, I'm not sure when they were born. They should all be ewes, hopefully. Otherwise it's an expensive wether. We paid $149 for these girls. I think they're off 2 different places. No, they're looking pretty well. Hey girls, plenty of growing potential. So we breed some of our own as well, but we also sort of try and buy 150 every year, especially because we still are a little bit understocked, so just getting our stock numbers back up again. But so these are, for anyone who doesn't know, these are a Border Leicester ram over a Merino ewe, and that produces this first cross ewe, or first cross lamb. And so then these will grow up and we'll put our Poll Dorset rams over these, and then I'll get the second cross lamb, and that's the lamb that you find in the supermarket. That's the ones that we eat. So the Poll Dorset puts all the meat on them. In case you didn't know, this is probably the most common, well, this is the most common first cross type, so Border Leicester Merino, but I think there's sort of increasing numbers of the white Suffolk Merino coming around. So our stock agent bought these for us. We didn't go over to Yass yesterday, we were crutching sheep, but went over and picked them up last night. Just waiting on someone to come pick up some hay and some sheep poo. We might give them a drench and a foot bath and stuff, and then yeah, we'll go from there. Go back. Hey. Sit down. Sit down. Max, Maggie, sit. So just run them through the foot bath. It's a bit of a biosecurity measure. We don't know where they've been running through the yards in at Yass there, or the place they're off, so just run them through and then we know that they're right. We'll probably run them, let them dry in here, and then probably run them through once more. Are we going to drench them or anything? Drenching what? Drenching what? Just drench them. Give them a drench and a multi-min if we got it. So just giving them this Tridect and this drench, which is obviously a triple acting, and don't actually have any multi-min, which is annoying, but that year supply that I won should be arriving this week, so we'll be right then. Always forget that. Mix. Few Rogue Poll Dorset ewes. Yes, Rogue and Poll Dorset seem to go pretty well together, don't they? Yes. You lot, you're meant to be shorn. So there's another mama job on the list today. Maggie, you're fair in the road. Here, come on. Go back. Go back. Hey. 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 So since they're in the shed here already, I'm just going to run them out this race here and drench them as they go out. And then I'll run them through once more.
Got nothing to lose. Oh my, my, gonna shake it off. It ain't no thing, it ain't no thing. Oh my, doing what I want.
ideally, this race is pretty wide. It's too wide to be drenching sheep in, really. Ideally you'd have it smaller so they can't turn around like that, because the way we do it, we do it from the front, generally from the front of the sheep, and some people do it from the back, and I mean it's personal preference really, but it's different gun for if you're coming from behind. I always try to keep a sheep buffer between me and the one that isn't drenched. So if I've drenched this one, keep that girl there and then drench this one before I let them go, just so that if you're directly holding the sheep, they tend to be a bit more restless and harder to drench. But if you leave one between you and the ones you haven't done, that way if this one gets away from you, which does happen, she's done and drenched and you don't have to worry about trying to catch her out there. I don't know, that's just how I do it. Whether that's a useful piece of information or not, I don't know. There is a different gun from if you're doing it from the back. It's more, you more hold it like that. Just thought I'd mention that. Try and make drenching sheep a bit more interesting. Hey, just gonna run them through once more. Hey. Go back. Go back. Go back. Get away up there. Here, Max. Go back. Sit, 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 sit. Sonny, that's enough. Got the better of you. Got the better of you, Maggie. Got you bluffed. Go on. Go back. Max, spook up. Spook, spook, spook. Hey, hey. So I'm actually going to put them on this this ryegrass paddock here. It's pretty good at the moment. Might have to dribble a little bit of grain into them, just because it's that time of year and we've sort of had enough hot weather that the country's sort of started to hay off a bit. But then past sort of week we've been getting a bit of rain and it's just sort of depleting the quality of all the grass and pastures pretty quickly. So especially for these younger stock, we're feeding the stud ewes that are joining at the moment anyway, so I have to go through this paddock anyway, so I'll stick them on here for a couple of days and then I'll start giving them a little bit. Won't give it to them straight away, just let their bellies readjust after being locked up in the yards for, you know, probably a couple of days I'd say. Just don't want them gorging the grain. If I brought some down now, just let their bellies fill up again, then I'll just start trickling a little bit into them. No, the ryegrass paddock's looking pretty good. This is the one I sowed it last year. We sowed it last year and yeah, sort of been keeping tabs on it a little bit throughout the occasional video. Spread urea on it early spring. So, and then yeah, got a little cut of hay or silage off it actually. No, there's just a few sheep on here. I just got to move into the next paddock and then we'll be away. Push him up, Max. She's not the best in the paddock, but she has a go. She's a better yard dog. Close quarters, sort of enjoys that sort of stuff. Push him up. Rightio, well, we'll let these out and let them go down on the ryegrass there, I suppose. Here, Maggie. So I'm just gonna sit. I'm just gonna let them wander through the gate there because there's a trough just to the left. There's not, like, that's the only sort of good water. There's a little spring down there, but it's not very good water. So I'll just let them wander through there and then they can find the drink just through the gate there, and then they know that the water's back here because there's a little patch of bush that they got to go through to get to the ryegrass. No, it just looks like they're running straight past it. But that's right. Especially lambs, it's pretty important to show them the water when you put them into a new paddock. Older sheep, it's not so much of a worry, but lambs especially, you want them to know where the water is. But no, they're obviously hungry. I'll just shut the gate and leave them be then, and then a bit later on I might go and actually bring them back up to the trough, just because there's good bore water at the trough there. Alright, so we're actually just going down to the other place to wean some lambs, bring them some lambs back here, and we'll drench and back on the ewes down there. Yeah, not really good enough feed down there for the lambs, so we don't want them. I think they've gone backwards a little bit by the sound of it, so we'll bring them back here and put them on some better country. So that's what we're at the moment. We've got Maggie and Sally in the toolbox. Off they go. Just gonna get this mob of ewes into. There's a couple of lambs that are crawled in there by the look of it. These ones have been weaned already, but they've somehow crawled back in.
I'm gonna hit it big. I got my eyes on the prize. Oh my, gonna spin the wheel.
Hey.
Cash it in, roll the dice. Oh my, it's a thing of gold. All I do is win. All I do is win. Oh my, no one ever fold. Start it up, let the game begin. Way up high and take it low.
216 lambs on. Heading back towards home. They took some getting on too, as you'd know if you've dealt with sucker lambs before. Now I'll take them home, give them a drench, and then they'll go with the other mob for the time being. Righto, truck dog. Come on.
I'm gonna hit it big. Got my eyes on the prize. Oh my, gonna spin the wheel.
Sit,
Cash it in, roll
Here,
the
come here.
dice.
Come back.
Oh my,
Here.
it's a thing of gold. All I do is win. All I do is win. Oh my, no one ever fold. Start it up, let the game begin.
Go back. Go back.
High,
Go back.
take it low. I'm feeling right from head to toe. Light it up and let it go. Here I go. Are you ready? Ready to go?
Hey.
Are you ready?
Hey.
Ready
back.
for more? Are you ready?
Get what?
Ready for me?
Go right back. Go right.
Are you
Hey, he makes.
ready and now we going? And I can't stop. Are you ready? Ready for me? Oh my, oh my.
So they're not overly big lambs, unfortunately, but main reason this year is just because we didn't get any summer crop in. You know, you don't have good grass, you don't have good quality grass, you're not going to be able to get lambs away as suckers. So that's sort of, I suppose, our main goal. Well, not our main goal, it's one of our goals, to get as many lambs as we can away and off their mums to the sale yards, you know, off their mums, not having to wean them or anything, because they just sort of, they go backwards for a couple of weeks once you wean them, and then you got to shear them. And we got rid of 160 sucker lambs, but that's all we were able to get rid of. The rest will have to be shorn, unfortunately, but that's just the way that it was. Couldn't get crop in when we wanted to. It was too wet, and then by the time it did dry up, it was just been too late. So that's the way it goes. That's farming. Just got to adapt every year that you get. But anyway, I'm going to drench these lambs now just quickly. This is the little spring I was talking about having not very good water, and as you can see, it's well, it's not very good at all. But so I'll just actually come down here with the bucket on the tractor, and I'm just going to try and clean it out a bit, just to try and get a bit more permanent water down here for them. So as you can see, so that's the bush they got to come through, and the trough's back up that way, and this is the paddock of ryegrass here, between this wet gully here, either side of it. So if I can clean this out and get a bit of better water, I'll just try and dig in a bit and get it cleaned out, and then we can settle overnight and hopefully be a bit cleaner in the morning. So we'll try that. This is the ryegrass go. You can see it's gone to head, but the Down the bottom there's shoots coming off again, and well, there's even a bit of clover there, but it's better over that side. This side actually wasn't mown, so this is still all old stalks, so it's even better over there. The idea is not to get bogged. You'd be better up here. Is that gonna be better? Alright, that's a bit better than what it was. It's pretty dirty now, but it will clean up a little bit. As for the algae, I don't know. We'll see how it clears up. I've said it before, it's pretty important to have pretty clean, high quality water, some high quality H2O for lambs. Well, for all stock, but lambs especially, trying to grow. So if it doesn't clean up very well, we might have to try and figure something out, but it is what it is, unfortunately. This is what we've got in this paddock at the moment. So there is another dam in the next paddock. It's sort of on the fence line, so, and it's not too bad quality, so it might be an idea just for future sake even to put a little laneway into that dam potentially. So they look pretty happy over there now, eating away on some ryegrass. So I am going this time. So anyway guys, hope you enjoyed that, and we'll catch you in the next one. Alrighty, see ya, bye.